Blast me to Bermuda! It's time for Mission 10. The Legion assembles. Hello, welcome back. It's time for Mission 10. The Legion assembles. Before we start, we've got a few new bits of reference to go through. We'll show you the painted models, and then we'll get into the playthrough. So, first off, we have a mission debrief, which we'll read shortly. But first we have a bit of information about how to use units within your game. So your units will have a single data sheet. Will tell you how many models that unit consists of, and their weapons and war gear for the game, as well as any rules. When a unit is set up, it must be within coherency, which means a single model must be within 2 inches of at least one other model. When you move a unit, you move all the models and make sure that they end that move within coherency. When you shoot with a unit, you select one unit that is eligible to shoot, select the weapon it wants to shoot with, then you roll your hit and wound dice, and your opponent will roll any saves. When you charge with a unit, you can choose one or more eligible units, so any unit within 12 inches as a target. Though if you choose multiple targets, you must end your charge still within unit coherency. And then when you fight with a unit, you select one unit at a time to fight. First, you make a 3-inch piling move so that any models not within base contact can move within base contact. And again, you must still remain in unit coherency. We have new data sheets, full data sheets, for the Assault Intercessors and the Necron Warriors, including a new piece of war gear, the Gauze Reaper. So for the Space Marine Assault Intercessors, we have a movement of 6, weapon skill and ballistic skill of 3+, a strength and toughness of 4, 2 wounds and 2 attacks, and a 3+ save. They have a heavy bolt pistol, which has an 18-inch range, pistol 1, strength 4, -1 and 1 damage. And then they each have an Astartes chainsword, which is a melee range, melee type, strength of user, -1 to the AP and 1 damage, and you get to make an additional attack when you fight with this weapon. Necron Warriors have a move of 5 inches, a weapon skill and ballistic skill of 3+, a strength and toughness of 4+, and a wounds and attack characteristics of 1, and a save of 4+. They have the Gauss Slayer, which has 24-inch range, rapid fire 1, strength 4, AP -1, damage 1. And then the Gauze Reaper, which is a 12-inch, assault 2, strength 5, AP -2, damage 1. We have a quick reference here about reminding you how you move, and then also how to charge. Finally, on the back, we have rules about shooting and attacking. So, shooting limitations. Units may not make shooting attacks whilst within 1 inch of an enemy model. Ranged weapons cannot target units that have models within engagement range of friendly models. There are 4 different types of weapons so far: assault, pistol, rapid fire, and melee. The attack sequence table to tell you how attacks work for both melee and shooting. Models without a stated melee weapon use the universal close combat weapon chart. Then we have our wound table. So there we have our new bits of battle information. Now let's move on to our gallery. So here we have our 5 Necron Warriors with the Gauze Flare. Each of these models has been built using a variety of components and alternate arm setups than the instructions advise, so that there's a little bit of difference between all my units. They have been painted to battle ready and have also been given a coat of Storm Shield varnish, as well as a coat of hard coat around the base rim to protect against gaming wear. And here's our 5 Necron Warriors with Gorse Reapers. Again, these models have been built using a variety of components to make them look a little more unique. They are painted to a battle-ready level and have been given a coat of Storm Shield and Ard coat along the base rim. And finally we have our 3 Canopic Scarab Swarms. These little guys are just built as the instructions say and have been painted to battle ready, and again with a Storm Shield and Ard coat varnish. I've also painted these a little different to my previous Scarab Swarms, which have just been silver. I thought it'd be nice to give it a little bit more coloration. And there we have our models for issues 9 and 10. Now, we're on to our playthrough. Playthrough 10. The Legion Assembles. Slowly and inexorably, the Necrons of Megaria have begun to rise from their crypts. Phalanxes of Necron Warriors lead their resurgence, driving towards the surface. Mission Briefings. The battle for the Necrons' labyrinthian lair has become a grinding campaign of attrition. The Necrons have detected the presence of Imperial vessels in Megarian orbit. If they are to stop the coming invasion in its tracks, they must first break out of their repair facility and prepare their positions on the moon's surface. Necron Warriors lead the breakout. Impelled by the commands of their overlord, 2 units of Necron Warriors seek to clear a path to Megaria's surface and repel the coming assault. Assault Intercessors hold them back. A trio of Assault Intercessors find themselves caught in the path of the Necron advance. Outnumbered, they must do what they can to halt the Necrons. Right. So we are now ready for our next playthrough. And here we see the battle already set up. Merlin over there is looking after the objective, mission objective 1, which is where the Necrons need to reach in order to escape. The Space Marines have been set up on objective marker C. The unit of Necrons with the Gorse Reapers on A. And down here the Necrons with the Gorse Reapers are on B. So, in this playthrough, the Space Marines get first turn. So, in order to stop the Necrons from escaping, we need to engage them close range. So, let's move our Space Marines 6 inches. And now, let's make a shot with our pistols. So we've got 3 pistols, 3 dice, we need 3s. 2 go wide, but 1 makes its mark. We need strength 4 against toughness 4, so we need 4s. A 1 won't cut it. Okay, time to take this into the assault. So, first we check to see if we are within the 12, and we are. We need a minimum of 3 in order to make the charge. 7 will do it. And now the assault can begin. So, Assault Intercessors have 2 attacks as standard. So that's 6 dice. They also get an additional 1 for fighting with their Astartes chainswords. So an extra 3 dice are added to our attack pool. That gives us 9 dice. So we need 3s to hit the Necrons. 2 misses, so that's not too bad. We could see a unit of dead Necron Warriors. And now we need strength 4 against tough 4, because the chainsword is the strength of the user. So 4's the wound. 4 wounds, that's not too bad. And the Astartes chainsword has a rend characteristic, of -1. So that means the Necron's 4+ save will go down to a 5+ save. So 4 of those to be made. 2 pass and 2 fail, so that's 2 Necrons down. So the remaining 3 Necrons get to make their attacks back. 1 hit and 1 wound. Necron's close combat weapon has no rend, so it's a 3+ save for the Space Marines, and they make it. On to the Necrons turn 1. First thing to do for the 5 Necrons tied up in combat is to break away and fall back. So we'll measure 5 inches to get them out of the way of combat. Next, these Necron Warriors are going to move up. As they have assault weapons, it means they can advance and still shoot, although they will suffer a -1 to their hit roll. So, we'll advance. 4 + 5 is 9. So that's going to get them nice and close, especially with a range of only 12 inches, and they're all in range. So the Gorz Reapers have 2 attacks each, so that's a total of 10 dice. We need 3s, but because we are at -1, we need 4s. So that's 4 misses. Still, that's 6 hits. That could be enough to kill all 3 Space Marines. Let's see what happens. Strength 5, so we want 3s. 2 misses, but 4 have gone through. And with a mighty -2 on that rend characteristic of the Gorz Reaper, a Space Marine 3+ save goes down to a Space Marine 5+ save. So with 2 wounds each, we'll roll these dice 2 at a time. So our first Space Marine takes a single wound. And he'll take 1 more save, which is a fail. And as the last dice can't kill a Space Marine outright, we'll just roll to see if he saves, and he doesn't. Oh dear. Those Gorz Reapers have really damaged that power armor. It's on to the Space Marine's turn now, though. So let's just get a little bit closer. So we'll move 5 inches. Make sure we are still within 2 of each other. We are. Now we'll take a shot at the larger unit with our pistols. 1 hit, 1 miss. 1 wound. 5+ save. Nope. So we lose 1 Necron Warrior, or Gorz Reaper. Now, let's get on and do a multi-charge. So we've got an eligible charging unit, and we've got 2 eligible targets. So, let's make the charge roll. 5. Even with a double 2, we probably would have still made it. So we'll charge in, tying up both units and making sure we stay within 2 inches of each other. So now we're on to our attacks. We have 2 basic and then 1 each for our chainswords. 6 dice. So we'll do 3 on this unit. That's 3 hits. 3 on the other unit. 2 hits. So this unit now needs to be wounded. We want some 4s. That's 2 wounds. Now let's see if we can wound this unit. 1 wound. So, the Necrons here need a save of 5+. Ouch! 2 to go down. Take that one and that one. And these Necrons only have 1 wound to save, which they make. Now they get a chance to pile in. So they can move 3 inches to get into combat with the Space Marines. So our 1 Necron Warrior attacks there. He misses. And our 4 Necrons down here. We got 4 hits. 4's the wound, only 1. So that must go on this Space Marine because he's already wounded. And he saves. It's the Necron's turn. And they're going to fall back again and try and drive towards their objective. And so we're back to the Space Marines, who will move to stay in range, take a pot shot with their pistols. Oops, runaway dice. 2 hits, 1 wound, 5+ save, made it. So now we'll go and do another multi-charge. Boom, and 5 will get me to that guy and still remain within 2 inches. So we got 3 attacks on this lone Necron here. That's 2 hits and 1 wound. It'll be enough to knock him out. 5+ save. No, he's holding on. So now we got 3 attacks against the other unit here. 2 hits and 2 wounds, 5 and a 4. So 2 5-up Necron saves. No, 2 go down. Necrons get to fight back. So we've got 2 attacks here and 1 there. Only 1 hit. Oh dear. It wounds, and the Space Marine saves. So, Necrons now fall back 5 inches. Which just leaves the Space Marines to chase them down. So we'll move up 4 inches. Shoot the larger unit with our pistols. 1 hit. That's a wound. And it goes through. Let's make the charge. That's going to get us in. So, bye dice. 3 attacks against this Necron Warrior. Oh dear. 111. That's not good. And 3 attacks against this Necron Warrior. 2 wounds. And no, didn't do any damage. So the Necrons get to fight back. 1 against this Space Marine. He hits and doesn't wound. This Necron doesn't hit. So Necron's turn again. They'll fall back. That's all they can do. Space Marine's turn. They'll chase. I'll move there. Stay in range. And they'll shoot down with the pistols. 2 hits. So 1 miss and 2 misses. Losing a lot of my dice today. I'll make the charge. Three attacks against our first Necron. 2 hits. 1 wound. -1 to save, so 5+ save. Made it. And attack against this Necron. Only 1 hit. 1 wound. Oop. That's a 3rd dice on the floor. And that was a 4. That's a fail. 1 unit of Necron Warriors is wiped out. Oh, if he can survive, he might just make it to that objective. Space Marine's turn. Give chase. Shoot with our pistols. 1 hit. No wound. Charge. 5. They're in. And now we're all going against 1 Necron. Two misses. 3 wounds. So 3 5+ saves. Oh dear. They managed to catch him and shut him down before he could make the objective. So that's how we can move and shoot and charge with units now. We'll learn more once we get some larger units. But for the moment, let's replay that mission another time, and this time use some different tactics. I suggest with the 2nd unit of Necron Warriors, moving them as quickly as possible. You might even want to alternate placing the Necron Warriors. Use the shorter range ones up on A, and the longer range ones down on B, so they can keep out the way of the Space Marine Assault Intercessors. Alternatively, for the Assault Intercessors, you can have them stay near the midfield, and wait for the Necrons to come to you. Although, you will be further apart, so you don't want to stay too far away from each other. Alright, all that's left to do is to see what's happening next time on Imperium. So, in our next 2 issues of Imperium, we get a Primaris Librarian, plus a Dry Brush. We learn to paint our new model, and we also learn about psychic powers. And in issue 12, we get 3 new paints. Scream of Pink for Purity Seals. Canopic Alloy to give our Necrons a slightly more metallic-y glow, and Agrax Earthshade, which will be used to shade down some of our previous paints. We also learn new rules for heroes, and we had both forces get new paints. So, with that, I'd like to thank you for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, share and subscribe. Also, if you would like to help support the channel, there is a affiliate link for Curton Games if you are in the Southwest. And there's also a Buy Me a Coffee. So, again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time for more mad content. Goodbye.